Alright, hello guys. Thanks for joining the stream. This one is going to be to do with making a plugin. So to start with, I don't know if you guys have this, but it's a program called Eclipse. If I get up a tab, just type into Google Eclipse Java and just go to the downloads, and you'll just want to download this top one here if you haven't already, so you can follow along with what I'm doing. So just do that, and once it's installed you'll be greeted with this here. It might be a different color actually. I've changed my preferences, so it's a dark theme because I prefer it dark. Redstone Game says hi. I'll say hi back. Hello. And the stream has started, as you see. So I'm assuming you've now installed that. You can just like go back in the stream and quickly see what I'm doing. So to start with, you want to make sure you also have a Minecraft server that's running Spigot. I have multiple different versions of Spigot. I'm going to be using the 1.11. You can use whatever version you want, but I'm doing it in this version here. And you want to make sure you've all got a server set up with it and you've run it once so that it generates the world, which I haven't actually done yet. So I'll just leave that to run in the background. So to start with, I'm just going to do new Java project, and I'm going to call it just YouTube because that's simple. You don't need to worry about any of this. Hit finish, and at the side here you see YouTube here, and it's created pretty much an empty thing with Java on it. And the first thing you want to do is right click it, go down to build path, configure build path, and then add external jars at the side here, and then look for your Spigot version, just double click it, hit apply and OK. Eclipse setup, there are different versions to choose. Well, yes, it does work on 1.12, someone asked, if you download 1.12 Spigot. And different versions, I'm not sure what you mean by different versions. But there's a, let me go back onto the website, Eclipse Java. All you got to do is click this. It's one of it. I think both of them work. But anyway, once you've downloaded it, you can do what I've done here, add the external jar, and then you've got src. This is where the main folders go. Now I'm going to create a new package, which is, if you imagine a plugin being a physical thing, it's like a bunch of boxes inside other boxes to sort it out. So like a package, you see the little package here. So usually you do com dot, then your name, so game motion dot, and then whatever you want it to be, so like main. But com is for company, so you could do me, or just for simple you could just do tutorial or main. You don't have to do that, but I'm going to do com.gamemotion.main for your main package. So this is where the main like part of the plugin is. So once you've done that, then you can name it whatever you want. Go right click it, new class, and I'm just going to create main class. And now this is where we get to the coding. Now if you've never done coding before, this may all look like a mess to you, but all you have to do is follow me. It's really simple if you get used to it. So we want to extends Java plugin. I spelled extends wrong. Extends Java plugin. Now at this bit, if you haven't got the Spigot added, like I've got here, then this instantly won't work. But you need to import Java plugin, which is org.booking.plugin.java. Hover over it, and it will come with a little drop down. You click import that, and it fills this in for you. You can also hold down Control. Let me just show you here. Hold down Control, hold down Shift, and press the letter O on your keyboard, and it automatically does it, as you see. Now, this is the main part of the plugin. So you can do public on enable. Sorry, public void on enable, and it might automatically create an override. And with a Java plugin, so with just a normal plugin for Minecraft, this is what's like, this bit of code is run as soon as the plugin is enabled, and then if you have a public void on disable, and this is what's run when the plugin disables, as it's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm not going to be using this yet. You can just do bucket dot and wait for it to load. Bucket dot broadcast message plugin enabled. You could just do that, but I don't really want to. For now, I'm just going to keep this test plugin pretty simple. I'm going to start by creating some ranks, because I feel like every server needs ranks, and this tutorial I'm doing is based off the fact that you don't have any plugins on your server at all, and you're making it all by scratch. So in order to do this, I'm going to create what I call a file handler. So just create a new class called file handler, and it just handles all the files you got on your server. So I'm going to have a public void. Public means you can access it in other classes. So if I did file handler dot, I haven't actually made it yet. Let's call it setup. File handler dot setup will appear there if I made this a static. See, there you go. But static is a quick, simple way to get rid of a load of errors in your program, but it's a pretty bad idea to use it because it can cause things like memory leaks where you've got unused variables and things like that. So I'm going to show you a way that you're probably best to get into as soon as you start coding, and that is to create an instance of file handler. So file handler equals new file handler. So what this is doing here is it creates this class, like it gets all its code, puts it into, I've just named it file handler just so we know what it is, and we're just setting it to a new version of this bit of code. So now we can do file handler.setup without having to have static. Now this may all seem very confusing to begin with, but if you follow along with me it might start making more sense. And if you're really interested, you could just search it up online. What does this mean? What does that mean? And yeah, so as soon as my plugin's enabled, it will set up the files. In my setup thing, I'm going to be creating the files, obviously. So I'm going to do file main directory equals new file. So you need to import files, so just hover over it and click import, or do control, hold down control, press shift and O. And it's squiggled with yellow because that means we haven't even used it yet. So we have it, but we're not using it. So in here you want to do where the file you want to create is located. So in my case it'll be plugins, I think it's plugins. Yep, plugins here, and I'm going to do YouTube. So this is going to be my main folder. So if main directory dot exists, and this means if this plugin slash YouTube exists, which as you see here it doesn't, there's no YouTube folder. So if it exists, then we'll do something. But we don't want to do that because we want to check if you add an exclamation mark, it means if it doesn't exist. So an exclamation mark sort of means the opposite. So if it doesn't do this or something. So if it doesn't exist, then we'll create it. So main directory dot mkdir, which basically means make the directory. So mk for make and dir for directory. I'm hoping you're all following so far. I have sort of jumped straight into a more complex bit of code and creating ranks and stuff, but I thought it would be a cool thing to get you guys started with. So we've got this. We've made the directory. So let's export it now, and we can test it out straight away. So in order to test it out, we need to create what's called a plugin.yml. So this is telling Spigot the information about the plugin. So what is it called, what version number is it, and what's the main class in it. So I'm just going to cheat and copy one I've done before and then edit it. So in order to do this, just right click YouTube or whatever you've named it. I'll just do it anyway. New, and we want to do untitled text file. So, and then you want to call it plugin and find your thing. Now I think if you add .yml it will still work. So you just want to just call it plugin.yml, and this is the bit where it can get a bit complicated. So I'm just gonna copy my old version. So here is an example plugin.yml. So name obviously is whatever your plugin is called, so I'm just going to call it YouTube. Then description, I'm going to do YouTube plugin tutorial. Author game motion. Version just 1.0, and then main is where your main class is located. So for me it's here. So in order to find this, you look at the top here, it says package tom.gamemotion.main. So we want to copy that, paste it here, and then we want to get the name of the class. So then we do .main, and it is case sensitive, so you want to watch out for that. So that's literally the plugin YML done. So if I right click this now, go down to export, make sure it might look like this, just click on the drop down arrow for Java, go on jar file, click next, and you want to make sure out of your plugins you probably only have one. YouTube is selected. Make sure at the side these three are selected, and this here is where it will be located. So I'm already in my plugins folder, so you want to find your plugin folder, and I'm gonna just call it YouTube and then in brackets 1.0, just so I know what version I have there. Once you've done that, just click finish and it's exported. So if we go to here, it's already here. So my world has worked. So if I stop the server and start it again, it should theoretically have my plugin enabled, and it will also tell us in the chat there, and we should see in here a YouTube folder appear if we've done it right. So let's wait for this to work. Do you guys have any questions so far? Oh, I think my chat's not been working for most of this time. My chat appears to be broken. I don't know if any of you said anything. Okay, there haven't been many. On the setup when you run it, there are like 20 different versions of icons to use. If you don't understand, no problem. Yeah, I haven't done the setup for ages, so I don't know what icon you should choose. I usually go for the top one. And the curse, my explanation is incorrect. My explanation for what? I'm not sure what you mean there. but I mean, I don't mean for my explanation to be wrong. I thought whatever I've said so far has been right. Oh, my chat's now working. Okay, so here we go, YouTube folder. It's been created, and if we look in here, YouTube enabling YouTube version 1.0. So everything we've done so far works. So that's a good sign. Sometimes it doesn't always work first time. So now that we've done that, I'm going to create a player data folder. So this will hold the data for all of our players, and I'm going to be using a built-in plugin function for YML folders for this to work. So I'm going to do file player data equals new file, and then do the same here, plugins YouTube. You could at the top here, which I'm going to do, is create a string. So string main directory path. Actually, I'm just going to call it path just for ease. Plugin / YouTube, and make sure you have a semicolon at the end of each of your code lines, because then Java knows when each line ends. So I'm just going to put path in there, and this way it saves me a lot of time having to type out plugin / YouTube every single time, because that's what will happen. So path plus, and then add another one of those slashes, and I'm going to do player data, and then exact same thing as before, copy that, paste it, and then paste the name of whatever you named the file here. No, not yet. Okay, that's good. I assume you're all following so far. It's not too complicated yet, it's more of just understanding it. And for some reason my YouTube chat, it just keeps saying I've disconnected, and then it tries to reconnect me and does it instantly. It's weird. So if I miss any of your questions, I'm sorry, it's YouTube's fault, not mine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is create another class. I'm going to call this one player handler. So this is where, rather than handling the files, it will handle all the player data, so stuff to do with players. And this is where I'm going to create the bit for the ranks. Now, this is probably different to all the other things you see in like Essentials. So this plugin, if you download Essentials for your server and you also use your own plugin using my technique, they won't work together, just because I do it a much simpler way. Because whenever I've had a server, it's always been a customly made plugin for the server. I don't really care if it isn't compatible with other plugins. So you may not want other plugins, but this is how I always do it. So the way I do it is I create an integer, so that's just a number for each rank I want. So I'm going to do int owner. Let's actually do rank _owner. Wait, never mind. I'm just going to do owner equals 100. Int admin equals, let's say, 80. And now these numbers can be built whatever you want, but the highest number will be the highest rank you have on your server. So I'm just going to do this, and then int member. You can have as many ranks as you want, obviously, equals 0. Now, the way this will work is, if you're a certain rank, you will be given a certain number, and that number will be equal to whatever number is you've put down here. And if you want to run a command, it checks what number you've been given. So say we did /ban, for example. If you're a member, your number's 0, but the number you need to run the command might be 80, for example. Excuse me. So it's a pretty simple way, and I don't really call it cheating, but it's a really simple way of doing ranks. So remember, as many of them as you want, whatever numbers you want. You could just do 1, 2, 3, 4 for each, but I always make like a reasonable gap between each, just because then you can add more if you need to later on, like donator ranks and stuff. So I'm going to create another class, so a public void setup player. So this subroutine, you call it. This bit of code here will create the files for the player and do what we need to do to it. So in these little brackets here, you want to put player P, or player PLY, or player, whatever you want to do. I always do player P. And again, you'll need to import this. And this means we can now, whatever player we're setting up, we can use their information. So like p dot get name, for example. So because we're setting up the player after we've created or we've set up the files here, we already have the player data folder, so we don't need to worry about creating that. But we do need to worry about creating the file just for the player. Now, because we're using a bucket YML, this is a lot easier than it could be. So to start with, you want to do file, I'm just going to call it F, just for ease, equals new file. And I'm going to call it plugin slash YouTube. And as you notice here, we have to type this out even though we've got this here, because it's in a different place. Max, is there any way you can make code that you're writing bigger? So that's a good idea. Is there a way to zoom in? Window appearance. There's got to be a way. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Okay, there you go. So that should be a bit better now. So file F equals new file. You need to import this again. Plugins, YouTube, player data, and this is the bit where we personalize it to that player. So we want to do plus p.get unique ID. So this will be their UUID, which is that long list of weird characters and things. So if I get an example, okay, here we go. This is a UUID here, so it's just a bunch of random letters, dashes and numbers. So we've got that, and then plus .yml. So this will create a file in plugins YouTube player data with their unique ID .yml. Okay, yeah, I've managed to zoom it in now. Next, we want to do what's called a YAML configuration. YML, I'm just going to call it YML, equals YAML configuration dot load configuration from F. So this way, if the configuration already exists in this file, it will just load it. If it doesn't, it will create a new one. And hello Askiv, I'm assuming that's how you say your name, Askiv. How are you today? So it's hard to explain for brand new people into this. It's more of it's not exactly an advanced thing. It's just something not a lot of people do at the beginning of learning to code. But this is more of just showing you how to do a certain thing. So it creates a configuration. If you've used plugins before, you've probably seen they've got like a settings.yml or config.yml. This is what we're making, but for players. So we want to do yml.addDefault. So this will add a default data into the YML file if it doesn't exist already. And I'm good too, thanks. My voice hurts a little bit, but I've been talking for a while, so oh well. So this will add a default bit of data. If it doesn't exist already, it will create it. So we want to do, let's just do name, for example. No, should we do name? Let's do name, yeah. So this will create a bit of data with their name. So p.getName, simple one. Next, we might want to add a default. Let's add rank now. So because it's a default, we want them defaultly go to member. So we just type in member. Yeah, I know it's sad. Oh well, I might get a drink soon. Might make my throat a bit better. So rank and then member. No, it's not good. If you want everyone to default to moderator, I mean, I guess you could do that. Just type in moderator. Whatever you called it up here is what you'll put here for your default. And for now, I'm just going to add those two things. So yml dot. Now we need to do yml dot options. Hello night, and then dot. Oh, not that. Dot copy defaults. I don't know if you actually need a true. Let me just check. Don't know where I've got an example. This one here. So yeah, we need in brackets true. I don't think it really matters, but I'm just putting there just in case because I know that works. So what this does is it will automatically copy the defaults into the file if they don't exist already. If you don't have that, it doesn't really do anything. So next you want to do yml.save f. Now this will become underlined because it can cause an error. Now you want to hover over it and go down to surround with try/catch. Click that and it will create a bit of code for you. I'm just going to delete this bit here. Now this is called a try catch, and what this does is if there's an error, it will stop the error from happening and do whatever bit of code you got here. So here it says e.print stack trace, meaning it will print to the console what the error is. So that's a pretty useful thing. And the reason there could be an error here is because if you're trying to save the file here, but if the file doesn't exist, then it can't do that. So that won't work. And in fact, I don't remember which plugin I've got it in. Let me check this one again. Okay, yeah, we also missed out this little bit here. So we want to make sure the file does exist. So right now we'd always get an error because the file doesn't actually exist yet. So we want to do if f.exists, and remember we need to have the little exclamation mark. So if it doesn't exist, then f.create new file. That's literally how simple it is. And we have an error again because we need to surround it with a try catch, because if it already exists then it can't create the file, so it will just give you an error. But we've made sure that this won't happen because of the if it doesn't exist. So we create the new file. So that's setting up the player already. So now we've got a default name and a default rank. Now we want to actually use that data. So let's do a public int get rank. So what this is it creates like a bit of code that will return a value, and in this case it will return an integer with their rank. So we want to do player P so that we know which player we're getting it from, and it's underlined because we haven't told what integer we're giving back to whoever's asked for this. So in this case we want to do, I'm going to copy this, file f equals new file, and then that, and then we want to get the configuration again, so I'm going to copy that too, and then simply type return yml.getInt rank. So this again will load the file, and we don't need to do any of the creating it and saving it because all we're doing is loading it, and we know it exists because we've already run this. And return means it will obviously return the integer of rank. so it will give it back. Now that's really simple. We've done all this. This is just simple creating the file and getting data from the file. Now what we want to do is actually set up the player when they join the server. So if we go back to our main class, which is pretty empty right now, and right at the bottom we need to create what's called an event handler. So what these are is a bit of code that runs when a certain event is triggered or something happens. So if we type @event handler, which tells the plugin that it's an event, the shows that. Press enter underneath and type public void on player join. You can call this whatever you want, but I think it's just simple to do that. And then player join event E. You can do event, or I always do E just because it's one letter quick to type. Now you'll have two different errors here now, so this one you need to import, and if you type this one right, you'll also get to import that one too. So now that we've done that, I am going to create the player handler. So as we did before with the file handler, we created what's called an instance of it. We're going to do the same for player handlers. Player handler, player handler is new player handler. So once again, it gets this bit of code, puts it into this, and now we can use it. And Max asks, will the code also work for 1.12? If you're using the 1.12 Spigot, yes it will. But as long as your plugin doesn't use any of the 1.12 items or things to do with 1.12, and you're using 1.11 Spigot, it will still work fine. So yeah, it will still work as long as you're not trying to use items from 1.12 in your plugin, because it just won't work because they don't exist for 1.11. Yes, I did know you can port that. I mentioned that earlier. I just like hovering over to show people how to easily do it and see what I'm doing, because they can't copy control shortcuts. So we've created this event handler. Now we want to use the player handler we just made. In fact, first let's create a player. So player is actually a class created by Spigot, which is just self-explanatory. It's the player. I'm going to do player P again, equals e.getPlayer. So this gets the player that has just joined from the join event, and as Knight said, just hold down Control, hold down Shift, press O, and it imports it. So we've got the player. Now we can do player handler dot, and here, as you see here, we have the 4 ranks we made, and down here we will have setup player, and it automatically filled in the P for us. So as soon as the player joins, it will set them up. Using, I'm going to close the plugin.yml, using this that we created here, and default with their name and default the member. So we've pretty much done everything there. We've got the ranks, but the ranks don't really do anything yet. So there are a few ways we could do this. We could give them a scoreboard team. If you followed my tutorials before, I created teams for my rank tutorial. We can do the same here actually and create a team for each rank, or we could just add a little prefix before their name in the chat. So, oh, hello Dekulkau, thank you for joining. So, trying to think, what do you guys want me to do next? So we've created everything. Let me just quickly export it. What do you guys want me to do next? Do you want to see a command, like a ban command or a kick or mute command? Do you want to see chat? Do you want to see getting your rank to appear on the scoreboard when you hold tab and in the chat? and then we can just reload. YouTube, here we go, player data. It's empty because I haven't joined. If I join, oh, okay, I need to start Minecraft 1.11. I'm using the wrong account as well. 1.11.2. Just wait for this to load. Do prefixes surveys. Okay, I'll do that next then. Just wait for. I don't know why my Minecraft takes so long to load. Okay. So at the beginning of this live stream, this was really okay. So I've joined the server. Nothing strange happened. A command for changing a player's rank in game. Okay, I'll do both of them. I'll do the prefix first, and then I'll do changing the thing. So if we refresh this, we haven't got the file created. Now, is there a reason for this? Please YouTube, we don't have any errors. Let me try rejoining. Let's just do a quick. I'll do system.out.println. This is all I'm doing is quickly checking, see whether this command is actually run with this bit of code. Okay, no, I need to go to game mode 1. Okay, for some reason, oh, I know what the problem is. It's because at the top here we need to do implements listener. So sorry for missing that out. What this does is it means this class will listen out for events to be triggered. So if it doesn't, then this event won't work, and it clearly didn't work. So we also need to, in fact, I'm going to look at my old version of my plugin. So here we go. You need to type this into your onEnable right at the top. Get server.getPluginManager.register events this comma this. So what this does is it yeah, it scared me too. That's why I went to creative. It gets the server, gets the Spigot and the managing of the plugins, and then registers the events of this class. And this just means this plugin. Can I ask why are you making events in your main class? No hate, just advice not to. I'm doing it in my main class just so it's easier for people watching, because I'm assuming no one has like coded before, and I'm doing it in my main class just so it's easier, really, so you can see all the code in one place. I mean, I could create an event listener class or a whatever, but I'm just doing it this way. But yeah, as MDS Cool said, I advise not to do it, but I'm doing it just for the sake of a tutorial, showing you the really bare minimum, the basics of creating a simple plugin. But anyway, so now this should work. Reload it, join again, and it should create the file. Here we go, and we have the name and the rank in here already, so that's perfect, it works. Okay, So Max requested to do a prefix or suffix. Let's do that now. So for this, I could create a new class, but again, just so everything's in one place for the tutorial, I'm going to do it here. So public void, I'm going to call it refresh ranks, I guess we could call it. And what this will do is it will cycle through every player and give them their prefix. So for player P, so this creates a player, and then we want to do is bucket.getOnline players. So this will cycle for every player and it will refresh the rank that they need. So we might actually need, I've done this before in something else, I think it was when minigames plugin. Oh dear, I haven't looked at this plugin in a while. Hope scoreboard. Okay, here we go. So I cycle for each player and then I go for, okay, yeah, I do a double for, okay. So the way this will work is it will go through every player in the server, and then for each of those players it will go through every player again. Now this probably isn't the most efficient way of doing it, there's probably better ways, but just because it's a really quick way of doing it, I'm going to do it this way. So we go for each player, and then each player will go through the next set of players, and I'm actually gonna, I might copy and paste, but anyway, we want to create this. So let's do it up here. Scoreboard board equals bucket.getScoreboardManager.get new scoreboard. So what this does is it creates a scoreboard like at the side. You can do scoreboard objective set display sidebar like in command blocks. It creates one of those, and then in every class, in fact we're going to do what I did before, we're going to get a prefix. So let's do public string get rank prefix, and we could get the prefix from the player, or we could get it from the rank. Let's do rank, int rank. Now there are better ways of naming your variables, but I'm just gonna name it with like capitals and stuff, just so you guys know exactly what each variable is. By the way, what theme is this? It's literally the default one. Well, not default obviously, but where is it? Windows preferences. If you want to change your theme, you go to Window Preferences. Where is it? General Appearance, and then theme. Literally, it's just the dark theme, the default dark theme. Classic is the white one. Probably on, but it's really bright and I don't like it. I just go to dark. And then I just prefer it this way. It takes a while for it to update. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. So we're getting the prefix for the rank. So if rank, and then we want to do 2 equals. This means if it was 1 equals, that means we're setting rank to something. But if it's 2 equals, we're comparing it to something else. So if it equals owner, it comes in Eclipse Dark something I forgot. Yeah, so I'm using the dark theme. So if it equals owner, we want to return. Now this is where you can choose what colors you want. So I'm going to do for owner. So this is where you can choose the color. So for a color, you type chat color, and it's spelled the American way. So if you guys are English, there's no U. So chat color dot, and here we have a bunch of different colors we can use. So I usually go for just a red for owner, and then dot to string. Can I swear here? I mean, can you swear? If it's not like a really bad swear word, I guess so. But if there are any young viewers here, don't pay any attention to the chat, okay? So, chat color, you want to add .toString because it's not a string right now. And then I usually make it bold as well, chat color .bold. Plus, and then owner. Make sure there's a little space afterwards, because if there isn't a space, then your name and the owner will be like merged together into one line, like one word with no space between them. If I remove this .toString bit, you get an error because you can't have two non-strings next to each other. So we just convert it to a string really easily. Next, we want to type else if rank equals admin. Yeah, I know that's a pretty annoying that you can't do that. But anyway, so this means if it's not owner, oops, I'm trying to move that. If it's not owner, then check if it's admin. If it's admin, then we'll return something else. I usually do admin in a green color, so you can choose whatever colors you like here. And then admin. Then we want to do rank equals moderator. And then I'm going to paste that again. I usually do a light purple, which is actually pink. Don't know why they call it light purple. And I'm just going to type mod for, so it's not moderator. Then else, I'm just going to return nothing. So this means if they're not owner, admin, or moderator, which are these top three, then they must be a member. It's like they have to be. And I don't want members to have a prefix because they're not good enough. Is it fine to use switch statement? Yes, I think it is fine to use switch. I just prefer using ifs because it's more structured, I think. But yeah, switches will work. So we've got the rank prefix. Now we can do a string prefix equals player handler dot get rank prefix pl. Nope, not pl. Player handler dot get rank pl. So that's a pretty long, beefy bit of code there. So we're getting a string, and if you go back to player handler, we created public string here. So it will get the rank prefix, which is what we just made here, get rank prefix, and then in brackets player handler dot get rank of the player. So it gets the rank, which is this command, well not command but a bit of code, gets the rank and then puts it in the brackets. Now the reason it's in brackets is because in brackets here we have int rank, so it's sending the get rank to the int rank in get rank prefix. If that doesn't make sense, tell me and I can try explain it again. So now we have their prefix, which we can use for the scoreboard or the chat. Now next we want to create the team. So team, you can choose whatever your name. You could do team T equals board, which is what we called it up here, dot register new team, and in the brackets you can literally do whatever you want, but I recommend choosing it as their name because that is most likely going to be unique. You could choose it as the unique ID, but I don't know if, I think team names are limited to 16 characters. So yes, I do live in the UK. Yeah, I do. So the name is limited to 16 characters. So now we've got the board, their prefix, and the team. Now we can do the fun part. Oops, not meant to do that. So the fun part is setting the prefix and suffix if you want to. So team dot set prefix, and literally just type prefix because we've already created it. I don't want a suffix, so I'm going to leave that blank, and then team dot add entry. I don't know if add entry actually works because it's using a string. I'm assuming it would use the player's name, but I'm just going to do add players even though it's deprecated, I think. I don't know. PL. So yeah, it's a deprecated function. This means that it's recommended to not use this function because it's going to be no longer in the code soon, the version of code. But you can use it for now just because I've never actually used team.addEntry because it's using a string. I mean, I can look it up. Let me just get a tab over. So this is simply, if you get stuck in programming, I recommend just going straight to Google and searching it. So Minecraft plugin team.addEntry. That's literally a simple way of doing it. So solved addEntry. Spigot MC is usually a good place, Bucket MC as well, and then Stack Overflow is also a good thing. So, oh hi Anna, I didn't expect you would be here, but okay. Is it a good idea to build games with command blocks and ranks, portals and plugins, or will it all be messed up? Yeah, you can do that. I've done that before, although sometimes plugins can mess up with the command blocks and they don't work properly. So you can try it out. If it doesn't work, then you can create the game in the plugin, which will have a lot more features if it's a plugin. So here, register new team, set suffix. Add entry value, values, get value. It's hard to understand other people's code without seeing the rest of it. Don't worry, I'm leaving now. Oh, okay. Bye. Thank you for joining for like 20 seconds. Okay, so this is just some examples. If you guys know how to use the team.addEntry, could you tell me? Because I always use addPlayer even though it's deprecated. Yeah, I'd recommend using plugins as well. Although command blocks can be fun and it's nice to keep it vanilla. Plugins just have a lot more power over your server and you can do a lot more stuff with it. I'm trying to figure out team.addEntry. How does that work? Because it uses a string. Does that mean it uses the player's name, or does it use their UUID or something? Because I've never used it, and that's the function you're meant to use instead of addPlayer. Yeah, addEntry. But for now, just use addPlayer, and if you hover, you can suppress the warning so that little squiggly line goes. I'm going to leave that there. If you do 2 little dashes, it comments out a line, so that's ignored in the programming. Yeah, but I can't program. I just program through videos and the command blocks are fun. I couldn't learn how to program as well. I just follow tutorials and eventually you get the hang of it pretty quickly. If you start messing around on your own, just challenge yourself in what you can make. And say for example, I really want to make Spleef. Just think how would Spleef work if it was a plugin? What do you have to do? You could like write down on a piece of paper, you need to get all the players to one place in a lobby, and then you need to have a countdown, so you have an integer, and then you need to create the map and stuff like that. So just challenge yourself and eventually you'll get it. I'll look this up for you and I'll come for that. Yeah, I've worked with teams before, but I've always used addPlayer just because I know that works. I don't know whether addEntry uses a string of the player name or not, but anyway. So we've added them to the team. Now what we want to do is, I've got here set the player list name. I don't think we need to do that. I'll do that a bit later on. So the final bit is P. Now we're using the actual player. So right at the beginning, we're refreshing the ranks. it goes through each player, and then each player goes through each player again for a second time. So with the original player, so we want to do p dot set scoreboard and then board, and that's literally prefixes and suffix working there. So now if I export to YouTube, I hope there's no errors. Oops, I exported the wrong thing. Reload it. And in fact, this won't do anything yet because we don't actually call this function. So every time a player joins, I want it to refresh the ranks. So every time a player joins, it will refresh the ranks, so then it will display it for them. I may also do it when the player leaves, just to keep it up to date. So now if I export this, reload and join, because I'm a member I haven't got a rank, so if you go into your file, change rank to 100 for owner, then relog again obviously. How long has this been going on for? Exactly an hour. That was good timing. Okay, so if I rejoin, if you hold tab, it says owner and then my name. And as you see here, I've not exactly messed up, but my entire name is red now because I forgot to add a little bit in the prefix. So right at the end of the prefix, you want to do plus chat color.white. Now the reason for this is because otherwise we've got it for owner, it's red and bold, it says owner, but we haven't reset it back to what it was before, so it's staying as red and bold. So that's the problem there. If I reload and relog, that should be fixed. Oops. And there you go. Now it has owner and then my name. If I open another set of Minecraft, let's use, it doesn't really matter what account I use. Am I going to do chat prefixes? Yes I am. I will do that next. That'll be the next thing I'll do. So for now, what we've got so far is a really basic. This is good for if you don't want your plugin to do much except some cool rank to show what rank you are. This is a really simple way, and it has no command box either, it's just a plugin. So now, okay, so if I look at me, it even says owner there as well. So what I found is add entry is supposed to be a player name. Okay, let's try that then. Because this is deprecated, team.addEntry pl.get name. Let's try that and comment out that. So if this works, I recommend using this here. So if I relog, okay, yep, still works. Okay, so I recommend using team.addEntry and then their player name, because that isn't a deprecated function, and the add player will eventually get removed from the code, so your plugin will no longer work. So I recommend using this. Yeah, I did use the p.getName, well pl, because I'm using this player. So as you see, it's a really cool thing. It shows by there. So now we want to do the chat, as people have asked. Again, I'm going to do this in the main class. I recommend creating another class for events. In fact, I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to create a quicker class for events. And remember, implements listener. And then I'll copy player join into here. And you also want to, oh, I've got some errors there. Okay, yeah. And then you want to change this to this, comma, and we want to create events. So events equals new events. Oh, my mistake, it's not. It's events comma this, so it's not. It's the other way around. Okay, there you go, works. So now we have the error here of we don't have player handler and we don't have refresh ranks. So I'm going to just copy and paste refresh ranks into events. Actually, let's put it in player handler, just because it's sort of more of a player thing. So, and now we want to, this is the bit where we use the classes in other classes. So player handler, and we just want to do that for now. And now we want to do, I think this will work, public events player handler, and I'm going to do underscore player handler. Now people do this, underscore before a variable name usually means it's a local variable, so it's only used here. And you want to do player handler equals underscore player handler. So the player handler that we put into this will then be set for the player handler in the entire class. And as you see, these errors are now gone, but we have an error here. You want to get rid of player handler because it's in here. It's using this class. And now we've got an error here, so all we have to type is player handler. And that should fix it, there you go. And all that is working. So now I'm going to do the chat. So for chat, we've got another event handler. So every time someone sends a chat message, it gives you an event. So public void on player chat. Now this one I always get muddled up. I think it's async chat event E, I think. See if that's right. It's not appearing. Let me just go into my other plugin chat. It is async player chat event, my mistake. So not async chat event, async player chat event. And I don't know why, but when I hover over it, it's not appearing. But just do Ctrl-Shift-O and it will automatically import it. So now every time a player chats, this bit of code here will run. So the way I do this is I do e.setCancel true. So what this does is, as soon as you send a message, it cancels the message you're sending, and now we can send our own message. You could just do e.set message and change the message that they're sending, but this way you can't edit the way it looks. So for this, I'm gonna save the message they're sending. So string message equals e.getMessage. So now we have their message. What also might we want? We might want their prefix. So let's do string. Let's do player as well. Player p equals e.player. So now we have the player. String name equals p.getName, and let's get their prefix as well. String prefix equals player handler dot get rank prefix, and then p dot get rank. Oh, not p dot get rank. Player handler dot get rank p. Okay, so hopefully this all still makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't, then just tell me and I'll try and explain further. So now we want to do bucket.broadcast message, and what this does is it uses Bucket to broadcast a message to the entire server, so to all the players and the console it will send this message. And we want to do, this is where you can choose the layout of how it works. So I'm going to do the prefix first plus their name, so it will do the prefix then their name, and then I'm going to have a little colon, so it's like signifying this is the end of the name, now it's the message, plus message. So that will simply just broadcast the prefix, name, and message. You can choose this to whatever you want, so you can have 2 arrows, you could have nothing, just a space, but I'm just going to have that. So now if we export that, reload the server, and chat, as you see now, it has our name, the prefix, and the chat. You're still learning, not a beginner, master, expert. Well, I'm still learning too. Pretty much everyone, when you're programming, you're always still learning, because you do stuff wrong occasionally, you forget stuff, so you're always learning. You can never really be a master, in my opinion. It's like anything, really. So as you see, the chat now works. If I use my non-rank character, it has no prefix at all, and it works on both things. So there's the chat with the prefix. Let me scroll up the chat, see what else you wanted to find out. Chat prefixes. Changing a player ranks and get. Okay, so basically you want a command now. E.set format. You can use E.set format. I never use E.set format. I mean, you could if you wanted to. I just prefer using a broadcast because then it's on. I don't know. I just prefer broadcasting. I've never used the E.set format before. But yeah, you could use E.set format. Okay, so now we want to use commands. Now, commands you usually create using the public void on command, and then you have a bunch of extra things. So that's how most people do it. However, I don't like doing all that. I like doing it my own way, and doing it this way saves you having to do all the plugin YML stuff, setting up all the commands and stuff. So it's probably not the best way to do it, but it's more of like a cheating way. So the way this works is a public void on command, and I'm going to do pre-process command event e. I think that's the right thing. Nope. You're probably going to end up correcting me on this. Is it pre-command process? Yep. Player command pre-process event. It's a mouthful, that is. But as you see, I always get muddled up. Try it now and then. I may be wrong, but it happened to me when I first used set format. Well, I just use broadcast message and it just solves everything for me. So I don't really recommend using this technique, but if you're anticipating this plugin will be the only plugin on your server, it's fine to use. So what this bit of command or code, remember event handler, runs just before a command happens. So if you had a public player command event, that will run after this. So this is sort of loading the command. So what we want to do is we want to get the player. So player p e.get player. So we have the player, and now we can create all the stuff that's usually in the command function. So we can do string and then 2 square brackets. That means it's an array of strings, so that means multiple strings. Args equals e.get message dot split space. So what this does is it creates an array list of strings, or a list of strings, and it splits the message, so it splits the command by the spaces in it. So if I did /kick and then my alt over there, it will split it into /kick and disarrange because there's a space in between the two. I'm also going to create a string cmd equals e.get. In fact, I'm going to put it afterwards because then we can make use of the arguments already. So equals args. Now if we put square brackets, now we can select which part of the arguments we're going to use. So 0 means the very first one in the array or in the list. And YouTube is messing up again with my chat. Messing up again. I changed it to broadcast, it did glitch. I'm not sure what you guys are on about, but okay. So it gets the first value in the string. So that will be, for example, /kick disarranged. /kick will be the first one. However, we don't want the slash in it either. So if we do dot replace or replace all, I'm just going to do replace because people might have slash later on. Slash with blank. So it will replace the slash with nothing. So it will just be kick rather than /kick. So we have the arguments, we have the command, and that's really it for now. So now if we want to set people's ranks, we want to check if they're typing, I'm going to do /rank, then the name, then the rank. So if I, for example, /rank disarranged, and then owner, for example, that's what I want the command to look like. So that will set them to an owner. So if cmd dot equals, so we can't use the 2 equal signs this time, because 2 equal signs is comparing it literally if this equals this. However, with strings, you want to check if they're the equal characters. Basically, if you e.setFormat as the async chat event and you put a % anywhere in the message, it glitches and does the default format. Does it? I've never %. Let me just get rid of that. I'm just going to see what you guys are saying. Not for me. Oh right, if you use e.setFormat, okay. Okay, well, that's a good reason to use the broadcast message, I guess. Okay, how long has this been going on for now? 1 hour, 16 minutes, okay. That's not too bad. Okay, so now we're checking to see what command they're typing. So if it equals, and we want to do, let's actually do, when we create the command, I mean when you chat in Minecraft, oh, okay, my mistake then. So when we get the command, we want to do .2 lowercase. So this means if you type /rank all in caps or /rank like that, it won't make a difference. It will always be lowercase. It will default to that. So now we don't have to like check every different combination of capitals they can do. We just have to do if it equals rank. So if it equals rank, we want to cancel the command because we know it's a custom command. We can cancel the event, because if we don't, then it will just give us unknown command type /help for help. If we cancel it, it won't do that. It will do what we want it to do. So now we want to check how many arguments they have. So if args.length equals, remember 2 equals, if it equals 3, so this means /rank, that's 1, the name, that's 2, and then the rank, that's 3. So we want it to equal 3. So if there are 3 arguments, then we'll do this. Otherwise, so we add an else, we want to say unknown command or whatever type of error message you want. So p.send message error, no, let's do usage /rank name player rank. Let's do that. Oh, my throat really hurts now. Okay, that should work. Okay, now if they typed in 3 things, we want to get the player and get the rank that they've typed in. So what I'm going to do here is let's get a string. So string target, let's call it a target because they're targeting a certain player. Target name equals args1. Now we know it's args1 because 0 is rank, so the first one. 1 is the next one, which is the player name. So we have their name. Now we want to do player target equals bucket.get player target name. Okay, so we've created a player by that target name, but we don't know if that player actually exists. So what we need to do is if target dot is online, so this means if the player is online, then we can do the code. Otherwise, we can send them another message, error, and let's put their name in just to make it a bit professional. Target name is not online. So this will say error disarranged is not online, for example, or error game motion is not online. So now, if they are online, this is where we can give them their rank. But we need to make sure that the rank is a valid rank. So string rank name equals args2. So remember, 0 is the command, 1 is the name, 2 is the rank name, because that's how I want it to be laid out. You could do rank, owner, disarranged, or whatever order you want it to be in. This is the order I'm going to do it in. So, and we also want to do .to a lowercase again, so it doesn't matter whether they put it in caps or not. If rank name dot equals, so let's also actually create an integer. So int rank value equals 0. Actually, do we need to do that? Yes. No. Yeah. No. Trying to think, because we don't want players who are, say for example, moderator, changing people's ranks to owner, because that's a higher rank than them. We want it so they can only change it to people who is a lower rank than them, and be only able to change it to equal to them or lower than them, if you get what I mean. So if I go to here, owners can change the rank of other owners, admins, moderators and members to whatever they want. Admins can only change the rank of other admins, moderators and members, and they can't do anything with owner. So moderators can't do anything above them, and so on, because otherwise you could have a moderator who changes themselves to owner and just ruins your server. So we don't need rank value. Actually wait, yeah, let's do rank value. So if it equals owner, rank value equals player handler dot owner. Simple enough. Else if rank name dot equals, let's do admin, rank value equals player handler dot admin. And again, you can use switch here. But I just prefer ifs. And my chat is broken again, so I don't know if any of you guys have said anything. I'm just refreshing my page. Oh, yep, okay. The first arg is actually 0, not 1. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count the first message, but if you're doing this differently, let's see. I'm going to say I think it's correct. You split the message by. Okay, sorry, I've missed all these messages. My YouTube chat for some reason keeps like disconnecting itself. Probably because I'm not very like I'm just reading it and not actually going over to it. You can do dot equals to ignore case blah blah blah, but I prefer to do it this way right at the beginning, so you don't have to. I don't know, it's just opinion really, but you can do that if you guys prefer that. So remember, you can use switch here, so I'm going to do moderator rank value equals player handler mod, and finally else if rank name dot equals I hear zombies. It's me today. That's a lot of things. Okay. So if it's a member, then rank value equals player handler dot member. Now, one final thing I want to do is, if it's anything else, then they've inputted a wrong rank, so I'm just going to do rank value equals -1, because that is no rank, it's a negative value, it just can't be anything. So if rank value is bigger than 0 or bigger than or equal to 0, so this means it's valid because 0 is member and then everything above that is thingy. If it isn't bigger than 0, then they've inputted a wrong rank because -1 is the else. Error, and let's do rank name is not a rank. Okay, so now if actually I want to do it so you cannot change anyone else of the same rank as you, because otherwise a moderator could demote another moderator, which we don't want, because then you just have like a corrupt moderator changing stuff. And my chat is disconnecting again. I have no idea why. Oh, it reconnected, but it's weird. Okay, so this bit does look a bit complicated, but it makes sense. It will make sense to you, I'm sure. And someone disliked the live stream. Why did they dislike it? Whoever disliked it, could you tell me why? But anyway, if the rank value is less than their value, so if rank value is less than player handler dot get rank p. So that means if the rank they're wanting to choose is less than their current rank, then we can carry on. Otherwise, we're going to send them another error message saying error, you can't use ranks bigger than or equal to yours. You can obviously choose whatever error message you want. You don't have to do any if you don't want to. I just like making it a bit user friendly. So if the rank they want to change is less than theirs, because we don't want moderators setting people to owners. And then we also want to do if player handler dot get rank, and then we want to get the target's rank. If that is less than their rank, then we carry on. And actually, one thing I forgot to do is actually make sure that people are the right rank to actually use the command. So right at the top here, I'm going to do if, let's get their rank here, int rank equals player handler dot get rank p. So I'm just going to get their rank, and if rank is bigger than or equal to player handler dot admin. There you go. And I'm just going to indent all this so it looks neater. So I forgot that little bit right at the beginning. This is to make sure that they're a high enough rank to use the command. And yeah, my chat keeps dying. Same with my voice. I really need a drink. So, and we don't have to do this anymore, we can just use rank. And we can use rank again. So now, we also want to add an else. Error, you can't modify people are the same or a higher rank than you. Look how annoying this chat is. If you look here, it just says chat disconnected, successfully connected, chat disconnected, trying to reconnect you, chat disconnected, and it's just really annoying. But yeah, anyway, rant over. Also, can you put source code online after the live stream? Maybe Google Drive or GitHub. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. That's actually a good idea, so you guys can easily access it. So yeah, I'll do that afterwards. So now we know everything's okay and we can actually set the rank. Now let's create a function to do this for us. I'm going to do public void set rank player p and then int of the rank we want to set them to. Hi chat, if you're a student you can get it for free. Oh well, I'm a student, I don't get it for free. I don't think. I mean, I've never looked into it. Oh well. Okay, so to set the rank, we want to again get the file and the configuration, so from before, and we want to do yml.set rank, and we want to set rank to rank, and then we want to save it back to the file, and again surround with try/catch. So that's just a really simple way of setting the rank, really easy. Now if we go back to the events, we can do p.sendMessage, successfully set target.getName, apostrophe s, successfully set the rank to and plus rank name. Actually, I know this probably won't do anything, but let's make it a public boolean set rank. So this way, if we get an error, we can return false, otherwise return true. So that means if there's an error, then it didn't properly set the rank, otherwise it did set it right, and it's returning true. So if player handler.setRank target and rank value, perfect. So what this will do is it checks if this will return true while also setting it, which is a good way. Yeah, I said yes, I'm going to put it on GitHub afterwards. I haven't actually got a GitHub account, so I'll have to create one. Well, I used to, but I deleted it because I never used it. So we'll do that, and we also want to send the target a message saying their rank's been updated. Your rank has been changed to plus rank name. Okay, I think this will work. If it doesn't, then oh well. Slash rank, perfect. Usage slash rank player rank. If I do slash rank disarranged, we get the same thing, and if we do like a bunch of random stuff, it still the same. Now, if we do someone that isn't online, for example, like Bob, and set them to an owner, nothing happens. We get an error. Okay. Oh, did not mean to do that. Now, I'm actually glad I got an error because now I can show you guys how to check for errors in your program. So this is basically a bunch of junk that doesn't really make much sense, but the one bits you want to look at is caused by java.lang.null_exception. So that means null means it doesn't exist, it's not there, and the first line will be where it happened. So com.gemation events on command events.java 44. Not 44, 49. So that means go to events.java, which as you see up here, events.java, this is the place. And it says 49, that means line 49. So let's go to that here. If target.isOnline. Okay, so that means the target doesn't even exist. So rather than isOnline, that means if an offline player, if you're trying to do it to an offline player, it will just come as null. So if it doesn't equal null, then that will work. So instead of doing what I did before, if they're online, just do if not equals null. The exclamation mark means not. What is it you're making? Is that what Spigot means? Oh dear. No, Anna. Spigot is... it's a library of code that people can use, basically. Okay. Slash rank Bob. Oh no. Okay, error. Bob isn't online. Perfect. So now if we do disarranged, and let's set them to the cool rank. Error. Cool is not a rank. Perfect. So now if we do moderator, successfully set distribution rank to moderator. Now, as you see at the top, the name isn't updated in the tab, but if I type, it is. So what we want to do here is update the rank once they've done it. So player handler dot refresh ranks, because we've already created it. It's a really simple way of doing it. So the name still hasn't updated, but there you go. I set their rank again, and they're a mod. Hey, the cool cow, you're back from spaghetti. How was your spaghetti? I love spaghetti. So that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what else I can show you guys. I've got a simple chat, simple command, and simple prefixes and stuff like that. I will be doing more live streams with plugin stuff, getting slowly more and more complex, perhaps showing you how to make mini games and like Spleef and stuff. Yes, the cool cow is a mod. He helps moderate my chat, even though people are actually very well behaved on the chat. Anna, I'm sorry you can't be a mod. You're rarely on the stream. Sorry. And you probably wouldn't even know what you're doing on the stream. So is there anything else you guys want me to show you before I end the stream? Because I've pretty much done everything now. And while I'm at it, if you guys haven't already joined the Discord, then you should join it. I have it here. Game Motion Community, the invite link, although it's hidden. It's in the description of this stream. So invite link is here. So if you haven't joined already, it announces when I'm live, when I upload a video and stuff. The spaghetti was good, the garlic bread was better. Yes, I am mod, Anna, and no, I didn't have any spaghetti for you, Max. Sorry, but the spaghetti in my tummy. Quick add-on. Maybe a scoreboard displaying your rank. Sure, I'll do that quickly. Scoreboards aren't that hard, but I'm going to do, so for a scoreboard, why is it ending now? I just came back for spaghetti. It's not going to end just yet. I'm going to add a little bit more, and I have full capability of modding. Thank you. I mean, if you say so. You're not being mod yet, Anna. Sorry. Okay, so back in player handler on the refresh ranks. This is where we're going to do the scoreboard at the side showing your rank. So I'm just going to again do a little bit of cheating and copying my side here. So what you want to do is create an objective. So like with normal command block stuff, you create an objective and you can set it to the sidebar. But what we're doing in a plugin is we're doing that. However, we're technically adding fake players to the scoreboard with our own names and values. So it's a bit like a cheat. How do you make the text /rank or error red? Okay. To make it red, in the chat message you just do chat color.red and then the plus. I have an error so I can't export it properly. So if I do /rank disarranged ds, it's in red now, so that's just how to make it red. So yeah, we're basically adding fake players to our scoreboard. So you want to import objective. So objective equals board.register new objective. Now stats, it can be whatever you want. This is just the name of the objective. I'm doing stats because it's like your player stats at the side, and dummy because you're just setting little numbers. I would be a superior mod. To become a good mod, you do not ask for mod. I ask for mod. No, I am the best mod at the minute. Anna, maybe one day you'll be a mod, but I'm sorry, not right now. You're not on the stream enough, and to be honest, I don't really care if you watch because I'm obviously the best streamer ever. And also, I'm sorry for not replying to your message, Anna. I'm replying now. My throat really hurts, I need a drink. Okay, so now we can create the stuff that goes at the side. So we've got another two things here that I've got before. So objective.setDisplaySlot .sidebar. So that means it's at the side of the screen over here. And then objective.setDisplayName. This is where you can have whatever you want. I'm going to make it like, I recommend doing this as your server name, but I'm just going to do chatcolor.red.toString, chatcolor.bold, not black, bold, and then U. I forgot the .toString, bold, and then tube. That's all I'm going to do, just a simple YouTube. Sorry. And my chat is broken again. Let me refresh. You're the only mod, you need modding competition. Better be sorry. Modding is not a competitive, it's about teamwork. I'm a good member of a team, I'm prioritising over this over Love Island. What did this stream started 3 minutes ago? Probably because you haven't refreshed your page yet. Oh well. Anna, it's not a competition. You don't need to be a mod just yet, but give it time, maybe you'll be a mod. What was that noise? Oh, it'll be him. Okay, yeah, so this is where you can choose the name of the scoreboard at the side. So now we get to the bit complicated but fun-ish part. So all I'm going to do is, okay, so now I'm going to create the actual scores that go at the side. So I'm going to do score, rank, score. So this is the rank that will be displayed. So what's wrong with this? Why is that deprecated? Objective.get score. Ah, okay. Apparently that thinks it's an offline player, but it's not. But anyway, so I'm going to do this from scratch. Okay. That's going to be, well, making me work for it. I hear a scary monster, see how it is. Anna, I'm not making you work for mod, you're just not on the stream enough, so sorry. And just, by the way guys, I do actually know Anna in real life, so that's why she's asking for it. And yes, there is a husk in my world, and he's pretty annoying. Good job, I have amazing commands. Don't worry, he's gone, don't worry guys. Okay, so in this objective.getScore, this is where we choose our what we want displayed. So I want it to be rank, so chat color.white .toString plus chat color.bold, and I want it to say rank, and then it will be their rank. So we will also want to get the player's rank, so string prefix equals player handler. In fact, we're in player handler, so we just need to do get prefix p. Sorry, get rank prefix p, sorry. And get rank p. Yeah, game motion does sound pretty scary to me. Hey, I'm not scary. Get score makes a new score. Yeah, I know it makes a new score. That's what I'm doing, because I have it all in my other plugin here, and I'm making it here. So, and then plus prefix. That's all you have to do. And then we want to do is rank score dot set score, and because right now it's the only one that's on the scoreboard at the side, we can put it 0. So if I refresh, reload, relogged, so it updates it. At the side here, as you see, YouTube rank owner, and that's a really simple scoreboard at the side saying you rank, and the other one will say rank mod. As you see, really simple way. And anything else you guys want to see? Because that was a really easy thing. How long is the stream? My head hurts now. What the spaghetti? I don't know what the spaghetti is. I'm sorry for making your head hurt. How long is the stream now? It is 1 hour 46 minutes. That is a long time for you to be talking all the time. Okay. So now, yeah, YouTube I think rounds it up to 2 hours. Okay, so now, yeah, anything else you guys want me to make? I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to go watch Love Island. If that's good. Oh, bye Anna. Enjoy Love Island. Ugh, who watches Love Island? And don't worry if I don't do everything in this video, because I'm going to be doing more live streams where I show more of the complex stuff. But this is a really simple starter tutorial. Trying to think if there's anything else. I might make a quick money, just to set you guys up if you want to start working with an economy. So maybe only says only join the game. Not sure. I could do that perhaps. Let me just quickly add money though for you guys. So back here when we set up player, let's add another default. Money, and let's give them 100 to start with, for example. Then public boolean get money player P. I'm just going to copy and paste this, not boolean, sorry. Money, and this is literally how simple adding money is. and then I'm also going to do public boolean add money with the amount that we're going to add, and I'm also going to have one for remove money. So we want to have an int cur money, for that's their current money. Cur money plus equals amount. So this means current money adds the current amount to itself. And thank you. I'm glad that I'm doing a good job and you'll be more active. That's good. I like it when people actually enjoy what I do. But yeah, current money plus the amount, and then we're going to set money to cur money. I used to play in your death run server with command box before a bit. Yeah, I actually liked having my death run server, but I don't know, Bye, you don't probably care about your fan. What? Oh, sorry, Max. I didn't see you said bye. I was reading the other comments. Bye, Max. Thanks for joining the stream. I hope I helped. So yeah, I wish I still had that death run server, but servers cost a lot of money, and I don't want to host servers off my own computer just because they're not 24/7. And I don't know, you're at risk of getting DDoS and stuff like that if you host it yourself. Anyway, set the money, yml.save, f. When you get to this stage with adding stuff, it's a lot of copy and paste and just editing values. So return false because it was an error, or return true because it worked. Now add money, I'm going to literally... Actually, I could probably make this a bit more efficient by having it all in the same thing, just having, depending what they choose, but I'm just going to create two different methods. Oops, that's only open task manager. Yes, my server did close down because I stopped paying for it. And then minus equals the amount, and there you go, you got money. And final thing, I'm going to make the scoreboard say their money as well. So to add another score, the way a scoreboard works is the highest number is at the top of the scoreboard. So we want this to be 2, and I'm going to have a score blank score 1. So this will be the first blank score, equals objective get score. Now when you're having blank scores, you can't have multiple of the exact same score because it thinks then there's 2 players with the same name and it breaks. So every time you have a blank score, have a space for for the number 1, I'm going to have 1 space. If I have another blank, I'll call it blank score 2 and have 2 spaces. And if you don't understand that, just say and I'll try and explain again, but that's basically how it works. Now I'm going to have a score money score equals objective dot get score. Now I'm also going to have an int money get money p. So we have their money. I'm going to copy and paste the bit I had with rank and change rank to money, and plus money. I'm actually going to also add a color so people can distinguish. Color.green perhaps will look nice. And you also want to do blank score 1 dot set score 1, and then money scored dot set score 0. So the way this will work is rank score will be at the top because it has the highest score. Then there'll be a blank score, so it'll be like a blank line, and then there'll be money score. Okay, let's reload and relog. So I should have 100. There you go, money 100. This person will have 0 because their file hasn't been created, so if they relog it should say 100. Yep, there you go, 100. So I think that's probably it for this live stream. I've shown how to add ranks to the server, how to customize your chat, how to customize by MDS call. I'll see you in the next live stream or video. Thank you for joining. I've shown you how to do the prefixes, how to do the scoreboard at the side, and I've also added money. And I've added a command for changing ranks. So unless anyone else has any more questions or suggestions, so yeah, I will look forward to seeing you in the next stream, MDS call. You added some good input into the stream, thank you. So yeah, any more suggestions? If you make a suggestion now, I'll do it in the next live stream because I'm going to end it now. It's been going on for a while. If you haven't already, join the Discord, which I shall post a link in the chat for you guys right now. I don't want to be rude, but I think Max left because you said a long time for you to be talking all the time. What? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But there's the Discord link. If you join that, you'll get notified whenever I am live or when I post a video. You can also chat to me. There's a lot of friendly people on the server. We have a music bot. We also have leveling systems where you can, the more you chat, the more you level up. You become a trusted member and even a moderator of the Discord server or a helper. And we can play games together perhaps if you want to do that. So that's really it for this live stream. Any other questions, you guys? And I'm not sure, Toasty Burger, what you mean by a long time for me to talking all the time. But yeah. The stream's been on for almost 2 hours, which is a very long time for a stream. Oh, my throat. Well, I don't think anyone else has any other questions. If you do, you can still post them. I'll reply in the text chat or in Discord if you have any. So that's alright to Cool Cow. I'm glad you made it though. So thank you guys, everyone who joined the stream. Thanks for supporting me. I know recently I haven't been uploading many videos, but my school is almost over, so I'll be in a big holiday where I'll be uploading more, live streaming more. I really enjoy live streaming because it means I can talk to you guys while I'm doing it. Although I can't edit videos and cut out anything that goes wrong, which stuff hasn't really gone wrong here, which is good. So that's really it. Remember to leave a like if you liked the stream. Tell your friends to watch it if they missed it. And I shall see you in the next video or live stream. So thank you guys for joining me.